Hey guys, I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Whether you're watching this in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening, I'm glad you're here. First off, real quick, I want to say thank you to all the channel members. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you to anybody who's come in here to check out my knife, my EDC content. I appreciate you taking the time. If you haven't had a chance yet and you're so inclined, if you'd hit the subscribe button and the bell notification icon, it would really help me out. So today we're going to look at this very unique TwoSun. I want to say it's the TS238. Name's in the title. It'll be in the description. I can't keep these things straight. And this one's not on the blade. But this is a unique knife that I picked up. Tool knife that I picked up at White Mountain Knives. I want to say it was about 40 bucks before my 10% Javon 10 discount. But I put the belt loop on it. It came with the regular belt clip, so you can carry it vertically. I don't usually carry them like that. But this knife has a Kydex sheath to which it locks into very, very securely. And I don't know if you can see that divot right there, but that's one of its main lockup points. But what you have here is you have a Mokhtar or whatever, the M, I always forget, but one of the main TwoSun designers designed this little D2 pry bar, cap lifter, bit driver knife, right? So if I was looking for a small EDC blade to use for all my urban tasks, would this be the first one that I reached for? Probably not. Does it have good ergos? It really does. I do not, even though I'm not a cap lifter fan, I wish that was not there. I do not feel it in my hand. I do feel a little bit of that pry bar, which is fine because I see this knife as being a knife that you would use for light tasks, opening a package, having it maybe in your bug out bag or at your campsite in a bag with some bits. Because this TwoSun, for some reason, the bits, these are Weehas, are mounted very, very tightly. You'll still need to give them a little support, but they do not just fall out, right? Now, if I was going to drive with this bit driver, I would, of course, lock the sheath on, use it like that to drive bits, if I needed to drive bits, right? Or it could be thought of as kind of a gimmick. The pry bar works very good. It does have this little nail puller notch in it, but for a scraper, for a prier, I've had no problem using it. I haven't used it for anything hardcore, but I have used it for scraping. I have used it and it didn't chip or even discolor, to mess with some little nails that are over there on the wall behind me where my blacklight screen thing is. But just a little chunk of D10, very simple, very understandable, with a couple of other. I like the pry bar. I like the bit driver. I could care less about the cap lifter because, again, I'd have the sheath on, but I can open a bottle like that. One thing, since the blade is so short, and we'll get some measurements here in a second, it's surprisingly slicey for as thick as it is. Because I don't think of this as a therapeutic slicer per se. But if I'm having to cut through some duct tape, if I'm having to cut through to get into a package, to do some detail cuts, to defend the honor of my Slurpee, whatever the case may be, it's got a good edge. I've done a little bit of hand honing on it on a really fine diamond stone just to see how it reacts to the stone, and it feels pretty good. You've got this choil that stops right about here, or yeah, not the choil, the tang or whatever you want to call it, the thick part of the blade to where you won't get a smile. You've got a good bit of sharpening there, more than you'd probably ever need for a knife like this. Again, not a cheap knife, but I want to say it was like 35, maybe 33, maybe $40. I'll put a link to where I got it in the description to this video. I don't know if they're still in stock, but they'll come back into stock, right? They typically do. But it's just a good little knife. It was a giveaway knife. It was given away on Friday Night Flicks, episode 60. I forget who won it, but I wanted to get the review out there so you guys, I could share it with you if I could hold on to it. And that's thanks to Joe Isabella. That's my be-up. Choo-choo, little placeholder that'll always be there in one form or another. So yeah, guys, let's get a couple of quick size comparisons of this, and we won't go through all of them. We'll keep it quick. We will look at it next to our Civivi Baby Banta. And our Benchmade bug out. So you can see in length, it's right a bit longer than the bug out. Not a ton. Let's look at the length is right over 5.5 inches with a 2-inch blade and a 2-inch cutting area. And if I'm going to measure from that choil where I would hold it, I'm going to call it 3 3/4. That's from right here to right here. That's 3 3/4. And then the holes are for weight relief. So let's get an idea on how thick our D2 is. And we'll measure it back at the handle. 0.21 behind the 0.21. So almost a 1/4 inch thick. So it is a chunky little beast, which is a good thing if you're going to use it for kind of a do-all knife, right? Pry bar and a knife. Take our scale out. Since it is solid, 2.55 ounces. And on your belt, 3.25 ounces. So guys, that is the TwoSun, I want to say TS238. The number on the thumbnail and in the description will be correct. I will leave the link to where I picked this guy up. I appreciate you all taking the time to check out the video. Find it interesting. Also, you can search this knife. I've never bought one on eBay, but I hear that they're available on eBay. You just got to bid for them and wait for them. It may be available from Amazon. If I see this model on Amazon, which I never have, I will link it as well. But guys, I appreciate you, each and every one of you. All I ask is if you would please look out for that guy or gal to your left. Look out for that guy or gal to your right. Look out for each other. Go forward with love in your heart. And please, choose debate, not hate. I love you all. Peace.